Hi, NATO here. I want to make a really informal video right now, just kind of concerning religion. I know that Billy Graham has just passed away, and this really doesn't have anything to do with him, but I know a lot of people are talking about religion in schools, and religion here, and religion there, and how religion has such an impact on individuals or not. Um, Here's the thing about religion. I am in a way religious, and I am in many ways I am not. I am Jewish. I am very proud to be Jewish. And one of the things that my grandfather always told me, and being a man that I highly respected throughout my entire life, is that to be a good Jew was to do good and live good so others can live good and do good by your example. Now, the meaning of this could change depending on by living good, doing good by the rigorous traditions of the Torah, or by just being a good person to your fellow man. And I put a lot of thought into this really because I've had a lot of experience with really religious people, and they are, I can't say the nicest people, or that they are intrinsically the people that um, inspire um, confidence in the ascension to heaven by going to church every Sunday or Saturday or Wednesday or praying 5 times a day. There's a lot going in here. I'm not gonna go into details, but if you're only doing the kind things and the good things in life because you want to be rewarded via going to heaven, then that's the sole purpose of your actions is for that reward, then you're probably not as good of a person as you think you are. If you do all these good things and you're kind hearted and you treat your fellow man with respect and dignity because that's what you're supposed to do, and you have a genuine love for other people, I have a tendency to think that that's going to be more of a factor in your placement among the afterlife than how often you went to church. Too many people, and I mean too many people, judge how good of a person you are by how often you go to church and how, fiercely you fight for religious freedoms. But then religious freedoms only extend to you being able to practice your religion and others not really being able to. What I have felt some changes in my beliefs as far as this. In a town I used to live in by a McDonald's that I had to go to a lot because I had to be up late at night and there's only place open. Um, there was a house nearby that had in the rope lights the name Jesus written out on it, and that bothered me. It also bothered me to see a lot of other things like that because being Jewish, I didn't want to have to see that. And I still don't really like seeing religious things in public. That's not only Christian things, but like anything, like religion or Judaism, uh, uh, Islamic. I don't really like it because that puts preference on one religion over another, and those three aren't the say all end all of religions. And I guess it's kind of bothered me. Um, so I really don't like seeing big billboards and stuff like that explaining how, um, God is this and God is this and God is that, because even within the Christian faith, there are so many different sects of believers that it would be really hard to determine just the specific one. Like, oh, only this one, only that one is correct. I mean, even the saying grace is different between each one, so it's hard for me to believe that putting one preference over another is somehow holy and that that's what God wants. So I have a problem with that. But as far as going back with the rope light of Jesus' name, I was mad that person was doing that. But now I look at like they weren't preventing me from doing something similar. If I wanted to put the Star of David up, or if I wanted to put any other rope light message on my house, I could do that. And they probably wouldn't mind so much. And if they would, then there would be a problem. But that act of liberty for them wasn't impeding my act for the same liberty. And that's one of the ways where my views have changed. Is that if someone wants to be Christian, let them be Christian. Don't tell them that I don't like you because you're a religious zealot. Okay, so fine. Now, if they tell you that you're going to hell because you don't follow the literal word of the King James Bible, then yeah, they're also at fault. And no one should dictate anyone else by the value of the other person's religion compared to yours. That being said, my problem with Islam isn't necessarily with the individual people themselves, but within the movement of Islam that is very radicalized. And there is a large, huge number of them that are in this mindset of Islam everywhere right now. And the fact that you can't criticize some of the behaviors that are going on in Europe right now also seem very troubling to me. Now, this isn't because Islam is bad, because we know that by itself, intrinsically, it is not. But people's interactions with it have become what I would have to call perverted. Same as Christians have become perverted in their religion at times, Spanish Inquisition, so on and so forth. Right now, this is something that we really need to be able to talk about, because it's not going to just fix itself. We're going to have to deal with how people within the Muslim faith are going to deal with this in the long term, because this is probably going to be a century or so thing to fully stamp out, or it's going to take over. And I do not support violence towards Muslims, but I also am not going to allow someone to tell me that I have to be a certain way, or I cannot walk down a sidewalk because they are on that sidewalk already. Not going to happen. Or, I'm sorry, but you have to leave this room because my wife's going to come in this room and no other man can be within her presence. Nobody. You can go back to wherever else you came from, because that's not going to fly here. And it shouldn't fly anywhere else for that matter. If we're not going to force people to take down their Jesus signs, then we shouldn't be forced also into obeying another person's religious laws. One thing that really bothered me, there was a thing about a Target store that had several Muslim cashiers, and they told everyone else that lived in that town, it wasn't a very big community, that if you were going to be buying alcohol or any pork product or anything that wasn't kosher, that you were not allowed to use those specific registers, because it was a sacrilege to the cashier's faith. However, being Jewish, if I were to be working as a cashier, I wouldn't have the same privilege to say I don't want any pork products being down this lane. I would be told that that's not happening. Or if I say I can't work Saturdays, I have to be off on time on Friday to be able to make it home before the Sabbath, and I'm not coming in on Saturday. That would hinder my ability to get employment almost anywhere. But Muslims can do that. Jews cannot. Christians can't even do that, saying, well, I can't work on Sundays or Wednesday nights. I just can't. It's going to hinder your ability to get employment. And there's no special treatment for those other religions so much. But for some reason, they are giving Muslims more rights. And I don't agree with that. Religion should be something private. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this, especially about these little red bracelets that people wear. A certain group of people wear it. It has its origins in Judaism, but it's transcended past that now. But I was talking to them about their religious beliefs, and they grew up Greek Orthodox-ish. Their dad was from Greece. But she doesn't like talking about her religion because she says that relationship with God is one very personal to her, and should be personal to every individual. and that it's not her place to discuss her relationship with God. It's like kissing and telling. You don't go kiss and tell. So that's how intimate for her relationship with God is, and I think that she's on to something. And I also feel bad for her because she says how she's pressured into participating in several aspects of life in her career choice, because if she doesn't submit to that peer pressure, it makes her working career difficult. So she tries to avoid all speaking engagements, but has made a few appearances just to that way people don't harass her about it. And I feel bad for her to do that, but that's the career choice she has chosen for herself. So good luck to you. Um, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to, like I say, just a couple of thoughts. Um, don't tell other people how to live their lives because of your religion, and don't let the religions of others dictate how you live your life. And I think if we all just decided to do that, we'd be okay. Now, there are some things that are going to be at a crossroads between those two sects, because people who think abortion is morally wrong and people who don't are going to have a severe conflict with that. And that's going to be for a separate video. But I understand that that does happen, but we need to work on finding a way to deal with those differences in a more peaceful manner, because I think that both sides are digging in spite of the other side, regardless of the actual arguments, the scientific evidence, and what is reasonably accepted and what should be reasonably accepted. Anyway, you guys all have a good time. Until next time, peace out.